Aloha folks, my name is Spoonks and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat. This is the show where I look what happened at the box office this weekend and see how well each movie did. This one was a little bit trickier because there was a lot of close calls, lots of ties happening this weekend. Some movies did better than others, and then said was not the case, but I did my best to find the actual results. Thankfully, I was able to do so. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 5 is The Marksman, which made $1.102 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $10 million and its worldwide gross to $13 million. So while it did drop to 5th place this weekend, it was able to increase its total revenue from last week's $900,000 to a little over $1 million, which I believe is thanks to the President's Day weekend, which is very good if I do say so myself. And the initial budget has finally been reported at $23 million, which is very cheap, so this is not a total loss, and it's already at $13 million, which means that there's only $10 million more to make its initial budget back, and you know what? I think it'll be able to do that worldwide. It's not going to double it, and it's going to take some time to get there, but given how Honest Thief was able to make its initial budget back and do well during its theatrical release in October, I think this movie will be able to manage and cross the $23 million mark worldwide. It's going to take some time to get there, especially with all the big competition heading to theaters very soon, but given how War with Grandpa was able to recuperate some of its budget, and especially Honest Thief was able to do so worldwide, I see no reason why this won't either. Number 4 is Wonder Woman 1984, which made $1.14 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $41 million and a worldwide gross of $157 million. Now, this is the best holdout of any movie released this week. This had a hold of just over 26% from the week before, which is great. And while I don't think it'll maintain this hold next week, I feel that it'll just dip by just a little bit. Nothing too major, but maybe like 15-20% dip next week. And this also puts it 3 million closer to 160 million worldwide, which, given the circumstances, is very impressive. Not sure if it'll be able to get it a little closer to 200 million, but still 160 million worldwide right now is definitely not bad. However, just like The Marksman, I do see this movie suffering from very stiff competition from other future movies coming to theaters in the coming weeks, so this is also definitely something to look out on. Moving on to number 3 is The Little Things, which made $2.04 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $10 million and its worldwide total to $17 million. So despite being the only movie to drop from last week, I'm still very impressed with how this movie is doing. It's holding strong. It's still making a little over $2 million at the box office, even though it's been in theaters for quite some time now, is pretty impressive. I was not expecting it with this movie of all things. I don't know if it was because people who've actually seen it really liked it and word's getting around, or if Jared Leto's absurd Golden Globe nomination is spiking interest. Seriously, that came out of nowhere. But this movie's doing better than I thought it would, and all I can say is, color me impressed. Good on you, Little Things. I wish you were a better movie, according to critics who have seen it, but still, good on you. Number 2 is Judas and the Black Messiah, which made $2.07 million this weekend at the box office domestically on its first weekend, and at the time of this recording, there are no worldwide totals as of yet. So I gotta be honest, I was expecting a much better, stronger opening for this movie, given how other films have opened. I was legitimately expecting something like 3 to 4 million, but I guess audiences weren't that interested in this movie, which is a surprise given the reception it's been getting by everyone who has seen it, saying that it's amazing, powerful, and phenomenal. But this is also the third movie in this video that is following the simultaneous theatrical and HBO Max release strategy, so maybe it did better on HBO Max, and hopefully those who have seen it will encourage others to go out and see it in the coming weeks, because if films like The Little Things starring Snyder Cut We Live in a Society Joker can hold strong, I see no other reason why this movie cannot do as well or even as better as the aforementioned film. And finally, let's end the video off with the number one movie of the weekend, and this may catch you guys by surprise because it certainly did with me, and that is The Croods: A New Age. Yes, 12 weeks in its theatrical release, and it's back at the number one spot, making $2.079 million, barely edging out Judas and the Black Messiah this weekend, adding to a domestic total of 48 million and a worldwide gross of 150 million. Oh, poor naive past self who thought this movie was eventually going to slow down in these next few weeks, you simple-minded fool. And to stress how big of a deal this is, you have to go all the way back to the 80s when something like this would happen, when like a movie that was well into its theatrical run, like Back to the Future, would just randomly just top the box office charts again, even though it had been in theaters for several weeks now. This is astonishing. And to add on onto this film's success, the movie is now 2 million away from 50 million domestically, which will put it to be the second film post-pandemic to cross the $50 million mark, the first being Tenet. And I don't know about you, but I definitely think Christopher Nolan should watch his back, because the power this movie is having and the fact that it's getting really close to his movie, I think he should be a little nervous about. I don't know if I've said this enough already, but props to you, Croods 2. You are an unstoppable force that cannot be reckoned with. And you figured out the code to being a hit at the box office, so good on you. And that was the top 5 this weekend at the box office, but we're not quite done yet, as we've got another week ahead of us and new movies coming out. And we've got one new movie, and that is Nomadland, hitting theaters and on Hulu this Friday. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not really sure if it'll crack the top 5 or make much of an impact, just due to how little marketing there has been for this movie. To be honest, I haven't seen that much advertising or promotional material outside of maybe a poster here and there and a trailer every now and again. And I have a feeling that it's probably going to end up like Judas and the Black Messiah at the box office, but as always, I could be wrong, and it could probably do gangbusters given with how widely praised the movie has been getting. But if it does manage to make an impact and crack into the top 5, I'll be sure to talk about it next week on the next Box Office Chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you guys think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links right there. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.